One thing I'll do too is I'm going to cut my wires now. I'll set up my tape measure on the edge just to get me an idea of how long they are, and then clip it. And then, where's my pencil at? I can make a big mark there to where it's at. So now I'm going to cut about 40 or 50 of these things. And the wire I'm using is 16 gauge tie wire, like you'd wire up rebar with. It's pretty cheap. You can get it, I don't know, a whole fleet of boats for a few bucks. I don't know how many I've built on this roll. When I do those multi-pine panel boats like the Granville Bay and the OMP Pod and the Laura Bay, they'll use a lot of wires. But on the prams, where you only just have the bottom and the sides, especially the fly fishing boats, you just have the perimeter around the bottom that actually get wired, and then on the transom panels on the end. So we'll come back. Okay, I guess I can do some drilling and wiring here. I've got a handy little helper up here. It's just a big board to hold up this other end here. So as we go along, I don't have to have somebody help there holding it for me. So okay. Grab a couple wires. I'll go ahead and pre-drill it. There's 3. Okay, what you do now is you take the wire and just bend it in your fingers like that until you got this U shape, and then it goes through like that, and just put a little, cross them over and put a twist in them. I don't know if you can see that or not. Go up to the next one here. Ooh. Why am I off here? Oh well. Oh, I know. That's why you don't pre-drill. The station lines are not the same from hull to hull, because this one's got a square stern and this one had a taper. Duh. You'd think I never built a boat before. Okay, now we'll continue on. Am I still in? I'm going to put in a few wires before I come back and drill for the 1/4 inch bolts. And I think I'm going to do some jumping along. I'll miss these intermediaries until we get it all in. Sometimes on the wires, to get them to even out, you just kind of have to dink around with them a little bit. We'll tighten them up later with the lineman's pliers. But right now we're just getting the panel in place. And make certain that you stand back and you don't drill yourself. When I was working in shipyards, the sheet metal foreman's son got a job as a sheet metalman. Proceeded to put a piece of metal on his leg and drilled the hole right through his leg, and the metal and his leg. Yeah. Foreman blamed it on his wife. damn woman. Like I said, we're just getting close now. Ah, perfect. Drill that. Nice still. You already know I hate this lens. Gonna get me, Canon makes this nice wide angle lens. I told myself I'd buy it when I some of my plan sale money, but nobody seems to want to buy my plans. So you're gonna have to put up with. Okay, I came in just fine. We'll come down here when I get done. Let me show you the how we came out at the end. And luckily this time I only poked myself once with a wire. So there we go. Now I'll go through and add some more, drill some more holes in here and add the rest of these wires, but I'm going to, as I do that and tighten it up, I want to drill for the 1 inch or the 1/4 inch hole. So let me go ahead and do the other side. Yeah, okay, we'll go ahead and do this other side. And all I'm going to do if I don't do this, just go inside and relax and drink coffee and maybe read a book. What fun would that be? And I could be here with my YouTube followers, showing them how to build a nymph. I was looking at my analytics. YouTube has these things for posters. The providers for the who's and what's. I'm really surprised every time I look at it and see all the thousands of people, tens of thousands of people that watch in any 30-day period, and the 40 to 50,000 minutes of video you watch, of all the various ones that I've done so far. When you get down to these angles here, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put I don't know if you can see that or not, it's kind of like a half twist in it, and it acts like a corkscrew, and it helps them go in, and as you push it in, it straightens out again. Look. Get rid of our helper there. Yeah. sided than I thought it was going to be. But I'm always amazed at how much, you know, when I build this model, as to how much bigger the rascal gets when it's actually constructed. I don't know if this will be a part of the laying out of the bottom part or not. That one might be completely separate video. This one I may run this one all as one. Okay, that's it. Oh, I was wondering why it came up a little short. Okay, I was off. You can't see that. Get down here. When I started wiring, I didn't watch. I was jawing too much, and I got off a little bit. So I had to whack it down, so that puts me back up in to where I should be at the bow. The other thing that'll happen too is after I drill the first hole in here for the 1/4" bolt, these will never change position. So it's like a big, you're driving a wedge into them. They cannot move one way, or these two panels cannot move. And get my fingers independently of each other. Once that bolt gets in. Right now I got a little bit of wiggle room because the wires are loose. So, enough of that. I'm going to go in, it's coffee break. That's enough for the day. Sayonara. I've come back again to check on this. I just took my lineman's pliers and tightened up the wires along the edge. And now it's time to get everything in place. Let me get a better position here. And we'll drill a hole. Okay. I got my other drill out. Put a hole. I usually put them about, here's the tie wire. I put them usually about 1 inch behind. I won't stick one in the transom here yet. Well, I may stick one in here, or I may not. I'll see how it wants to jump around. You take your hammer, go along, and then you feel on the outside, and they should be, not overlapping either way. They should be right on their little bevels there. And so that's what I'm doing now when I'm feeling with the hand. You can't see, it's out of range. Put in the first bolt and stick on the first nut. And these aren't tightened down that much yet. I can do it. Just trying to get it in place. Okay. And okay. And the reason I go 1 inch in behind is that gives me a little room in here to get the tip of the Gel Magic tube in, so I can epoxy down under the wire. and everything seems to be holding well. I don't know if I'll need, I may put an extra wire. I mean, there's a lot of play in here. Here's my other drill head. That's my heater over there. There's a little bit of flexibility here I don't like, so I'll probably go ahead and stick another wire in. It doesn't hurt whenever we put a twist in them. So then we can corkscrew them in, especially once these panels are in tighter. You don't have a lot of wiggle room, flex room. You got to be careful too. This is 4 mil on the sides, so you don't want to get. Yeah, look. I was debating whether or not I was going to do these. Remember, keep your hand out of the way. Always know where the other hand is. Okay, that firmed up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and drill the rest of these. Just put a couple more bolts in. And I use the ones with a fairly wide head on them. I've got some other ones here when I couldn't find these wider heads that work fine too. You just have to remember when you come around the gel magicum that you put a little bit of, I'll wire these up afterwards. Well, I'll show you what I'm doing. Kind of feel underneath too, in case you have to take your hand and pound one panel or the other here to get it in line with the other one on the edges and the bevels. Like I said, we're just getting them snug, not really tight. We'll come back after I get this all done. This should run out probably this video. So we'll come back on the next one. I'll give you a little clip at the end, but we'll come back on the transom and the bow panel.